In this video, I'd like to look at a little bash script that brings in some arguments from the command line, and they're going to be numbers. It's just going to calculate the average of those numbers, just as an example of the ability to loop over the arguments coming in and then doing something with them. So we'll just do something simple like calculate the average. And this script is based on the link shown as a comment in the script from Stack Overflow that showed how to iterate over the arguments. Okay, so let me just run. So here is us invoking this bash script with the keyword bash and then the name of the script, and then a series of arguments. And in this case, 5 numbers, but it's going to total those and then calculate the average. And since bash usually works with integer division, we do a little tricks to get the 2 decimal places. And it doesn't rely on the fact that there were 5 arguments. If there are 6, it will still do the calculating. So that was part of the point of just however many arguments there are, looping over them and then doing something with them. Okay, so here's what the script looks like. I have a variable sum that's assigned to 0, and then we're going to loop over the arguments, and that is done by this line 5. So $sign and then the @ sign, that is going to give us a set of the arguments. So the arguments sort of will form an array, a set. I'm not quite sure exactly what the right structure is, but a bunch of things, and $sign @ sort of makes, I'll roughly just say, an array of them, and then we are going to loop over that array. So the word var in this case is the element of the array as we iterate through the array. In between the words do and done, that is our what we do to iterate. 7 is now commented out, but it was just sort of spitting out the now var, but var is just an element of the set of things coming in, the arguments. But what we are, so that's commented out, but in 8, we are saying let our variable sum, which started at 0, equals sum plus var. So this is the keyword let sort of forces us to do an actual calculation rather than some concatenation. And so we're adding up all of the numbers that came in as arguments. And that's from the do to the done, as line 9. 10 is just echoing out the $sign sum, so displaying for us the sum. And then we want to divide by the number of arguments to get the average. So first in 11, I define the variable called av, and I'm using the keyword let, so we're going to force it to do some calculation, and I'm going to get av from that sum, $sign sum, and then divide by $sign is the number of arguments. So, but that's going to perform an integer division, so that's just going to give us our whole number. So in line 12, I took the remainder. So again, I did the same division, but this time I took the modulus or the remainder using the % sign. So $sign sum %, $sign. So it's taking taking the sum again, doing the division, but this time getting us the modulus, the remainder. And then if we take that remainder and multiply it by 100 and once again divide, then that's going to provide for us sort of 2 decimal places. It's truncating to 2 decimal places. It's not rounding, but a sort of a truncated 2 decimal places. So that's why I called it 2_des. So again, the keyword let to force us to do the calculation and not some concatenation. Take the remainder of the division, multiply by 100. That is the 100 is what giving us 2 decimal places, and then dividing that again by the number of arguments. And then we are echoing out at the bottom in 14, the integer division as $av, and then the dot seen there is just literally a dot, and then $2_des is this calculation of the two decimal places. So, not necessarily a useful script, but just an example of this idea of looping over the arguments in a command. So if that should come up for a more practical reason. All right, that's what I wanted to show you. Thanks much.